Femi Adeshina, special advisor to the president on media and publicity, on Thursday said those who hate President Muhammadu Buhari and are plotting to destabilize his government are injuring their souls and will soon become gentle by force. In his weekly article titled Enemies of the Country Will Lose Last, Adeshina commended the swiftness of president in rescuing the abducted Kankara schoolboys, thereby putting to shame conveners of the hashtag Bring Back Our Boys BBOB movement. According to him, the conveners of hashtag BBOB had made 10 million t-shirts and had planned to use the campaign to score political points with the aim of bringing down the All Progressives Congress APC-led government. He said, a fortnight ago, when President Muhammadu Buhari proceeded to his hometown in Daura, Katsina State, on a well-deserved one-week private visit, an uncanny kind of welcome was given to him by bandits long troubling different parts of the country. They spirited away over 300 schoolboys and began to make all sorts of demands of government before the boys could be released. The development gave us a sense of deja vu. In April 2014, equally large number of schoolgirls had been kidnapped from a school in Chibok, Borno State by Boko Haram insurgents. Till today, the girls are not fully recovered. Also, in February 2018, another abduction of scores of schoolgirls took place at Dapchi, Yobe State. Eventually, almost all the girls were recovered, save for Leah Sharibu, who was reportedly held back because she refused to renounce her Christian faith. Horrendous, despicable. Now, while there are similarities between Chibok, Dapchi, and Kankara, the significant difference is the response by the different governments in power. When Chibok occurred, the Goodluck Jonathan-led government demurred, they backed, they said no abduction happened, and that it was an attempt at negative propaganda by the then party in opposition, the All Progressives Congress, APC, to get power. By the time government wising up, the abductors had gone far, and the trial was cold. And the trail was cold. They couldn't recover the girls, not until the government came a year later and a large chunk of the helpless abductees were brought back. Some are still unaccounted for till today. When Dapchi happened, some years later, the Buhari government behaved differently. It swung into action, went after the abductors, and through a combination of deft factors, the girls were brought back except Leah Sharibu. With Kankara on our hands, despite the strident cacophony of the market, President Buhari kept his cool and went to work. And the needful was done. The boys were recovered after about 6 days in captivity. While the saga lasted and the government was working night and day, enemies of the land were on overdrive doing a jig, hopping from one leg to the other in a macabre dance. It was time to play evil politics once again. It was time to generate opprobrium for the president and display hatred for their own land. In 2014, there had been hashtag Bring Back Our Guests, which contributed to dealing the government of the day mortal blows, and it was voted out a year later. So the enemies thought they had a sucker punch at their disposal. They came up with hashtag Bring Back Our Boys and had reportedly printed 10 million t-shirts which they wanted to use in prosecuting the self-serving crusade. Were they interested in the welfare of the Kankara boys, nor in the travails of their parents? Not at all. They were only actuated by the vengeance and the political capital they could get out of it. Their logic, or is it illogic, was clear. If hashtag Bring Our Guests brought down a People's Democratic Party (PDP) government, then hashtag Bring Back Our Guests would also undo the APC government. There are many thoughts in the hearts of men, but it is the counsel of God that shall stand. As the government worked, fervent prayers were also being made by the people of goodwill. Everything coalesced and worked together for the good of the country, of the boys, their parents, and the President Buhari. The boys were brought back intact, unharmed, and not a hair was missing from their heads. To God be the glory, the enemies had lost last. The first lost their voices, particularly on social media. The first lost their voices. Okay, they vanished after the boys were released, but instead of admitting final defeat, instead of throwing up their hands in surrender, saying that this government was smarter than they thought, they became like Janus, the mythical creature with two faces, and began to speak from two different mouths. Listen to one of them, who has been overtaken by bile and hatred for the Buhari government while the boys were being held. She had declared in October US military forces rescued their one citizen held hostage by terrorists within her territory. Buhari, as commander-in-chief of Nigeria, should please accord highest priority to the lives of 333 Kankara students and seek US support immediately. In other hands, she believed there was an abduction and it was time to put pressure on a man she didn't like. After the boys were recovered, what did the Madam Red Card say? Maybe the president sent the children on an excursion to terrorists so that they can release the children at will to him. He needs to tell us exactly what happened with the Kankara kids. Does anybody still take the woman serious? The good book says such people are in the gall of bitterness and bondage of iniquity. From such, please run away. Anyone stepped in hatred against his or her country and still goes to church or mosque or even to herbalist is very far from God. When such people fast, they are simply on hunger strike. When they pray, they simply blubber. But you know the good news. God is interested in the entirety called Nigeria. Most times we live dangerously, but he always pulls us back from the edge of the brink. Those who hate the president for no just cause, who wish evil for their own country, are just injuring their own souls. They will fail last and become gentle by force. You can imagine this is a government, this is the man that government representative. This is the same man that brought this wailing wailers. You think you are smart. No, you think you are smart with all this whatever you are writing. You guys are just embarrassing and disgracing yourself. That is just what I can say. Let's hear what people are saying. For your mind, a government official, now the masses have become, they are now become your enemies. All the things that are happening, everything, everybody is enjoying in this country, everything is fine. You cannot talk because only God knows what you guys did. You guys are not talking about the Bono incident, the rice farmers. No, you are not saying anything. Those people cannot be arrested. Nothing can be done. Now Gabashe has changed his own mouth now, changed his own rhetorics with this S-men. The same Femi Adeshina, I don't know why this man even get bad mouth, saying that oh, you want to be holding your land. Is it your land that is more important? When they were talking about Esme, is it your land that is more important, or you want to, or your life? That why can't you give up the land and let your life be, and just and get your life back? That is the same thing this man was talking about. Government officials, people are dying, people are suffering. You are telling them that they hate Buhari for no just cause. So the Nigerian people are enjoying, everything is fine. So they just hate him, that because they are enjoying. Nigerian people they just hate him. They are showing hatred on him because or for him because they are enjoying. I'm enjoying and I'm happy, and I'll hate you because I'm happy. Because things are going well for me. You are doing things, you are making policies that will make my life better and the life of millions of people, lives of millions of Nigerians. Their lives are better and people will just be hating him. You are talking God, you are calling God. You think you guys are smart. A official of the government, they are supposed to be, you are our servant. You are supposed to be at our mercy. You are supposed to be begging us. Now you are having mouth to be talking that because we are complaining. I don't know who is even referring to. You can imagine when people have this kind of mindset. Do you think they are patriotic or they have your interest at heart? Because this abracadabra thing that you guys did, you are now coming out to talk. Hmm. Hmm. Well, yes, we can gentle by force by your bullets, but our living God will silence you, Femi Adeshina and Buhari, and all your household by visiting you with pestilence and plagues. He will humiliate you turn you animal and you will feed on grasses like animal. Femi, you no get shame. Upon all the failures of this government, you still get mouth to talk nonsense. You and your boss would not remain there forever. Say anything you want to say. What really transformed Femi Adeshina like this? The volume of money is making, I suppose. But what happens to you when you leave government? In spite your intellectual capabilities, your poverty mentality has done you in. And you will forever regret this, this word. Mark my words, according to Sonny Akponana. Effiong Asuko said, may everything that belongs to Femi and his family experience the same blessings and calamities Nigeria has been going through under the APC government in Jesus' name. Buhari's enemies will exist completely before 2023, according to Sanusi Ali. I wonder why you guys are wasting your precious time replying this one. So arrogant that he forgot that nothing lasts forever. You are only doing it so as to get paid. I bet you if you were in opposition, you will view your view will be different. Please remember tomorrow and tread softly. It is time to treat this man as the number one enemy of Nigerians, followed by their old liar, Mohammed. This man called Femi Adesina gets problem. Oh, this guy is sick. She sniffed coke and weed. This man has forgotten that one day he will leave office. He can never say permanently. We all know that. How much were you paid to write this nonsense? Oh, you think Buhari is a and his hopeless government will redeem their image by staged kidnap? You can fool idiots like you and not reasonable Nigerians. I told you, Tramadol, move markets over than any other place. Today, Ade, tomorrow, Garuba, next tomorrow, Lai Mohammed and chief of liars. Adesina, for your information, you think rescuing Kankara Boys is the best achievement of your presidency of the year? Okay, no. It is the worst atrocities, worst show, worst record, worst comedy, worst crime you people commit this year, 2020. Honestly, if you are my father, I will be very ashamed of myself. Mr. Adeshina is defending his work in a very unwise and stupid way. Tomorrow is another day. Be wise. Those who hate Nigeria for no reason will be humbled by God. You will soon relocate to the bush animal. The Bible says the food of mischief is sweet to those who are eating it, but at the end it shall turn to gravel in their mouth. So guys, let us hear your opinion. Leave your comment below and let's know your thoughts on this.